hat, don't you?
I won't talk about that.
Can you zoom in?
Yeah.
Okay. A little part.
Yeah, let me see.
Metal Westwood logo.
There we go.
You like that, huh?
And the jacket. So that's just the white version of the.
The new version of the old school Coach Wooden
That's
jacket.
pretty cool.
Very cool.
Very cool.
And do not send me a text message. They're not available. Doug Erickson has complete autonomy over all the Coach Wooden style jackets. I have no power. So don't send me an email or a text. I can't get you one. Doug Erickson.
Oh, so email
At
Doug.
UCLA.
There.
.athletics.edu. You like that?
I don't think
With the
Doug
pressure.
will, but-
It's okay, he can get it. He's famous, he's been in documentaries, guy's done articles on it, he'll handle it.
What's the status of Adem Bona at this point?
Oh, he looks good.
He's clear to play full go practice anyway.
I mean, yeah, he plays every day. As far as when I put him in the game, we'll see.
Got it.
We need him this year, so, you know, but he plays every day, the whole practice.
Okay.
Do you expect everybody to play in this exhibition game coming up?
I hope everybody will play.
Okay.
I do not expect everybody to
Oh,
play.
okay, yeah. I saw two guys in white doctor's coats coming in the door the other day, and I said, that doesn't look good.
Well, they've got to stop by all the time. They could have been here to see me. We can't guard anybody right now, so, you know, I need, it really, it's tough for me. I break down mentally, physically when my team gives up easy baskets, so.
Coach, when you have a new team like this, I've talked to other coaches who played similar amount of games that you're going to play, and they're kind of telling me that like 10 games is a good like assessment of like to see where your team at. Do you have like a amount of games that's a metric for you?
Yeah,
says,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
What is it?
One.
What can you tell after one game?
How bad we are and how much better job I need to do quickly. Yeah, I'm different in all that type of stuff. Because I think, okay, well, we'll just be better in 10 games. It's like I tell Adem Bona, like, okay, you want to come back to school because you're smart, and you're smart enough to know it's more lucrative to be a first-round pick and get guaranteed $18 million like Jaime Jaquez than be a second-round pick. Okay, just because you came back to school doesn't mean you'll be a better player. So just because we play 10 games does not mean we'll be a better defensive team. So we're only going to get better if we get better, right? So it could take you one game, two. You got to try to get better immediately. Now, I think what they're alluding to is, if, with all that being said, it might take you 10 games, but I don't think about numbers and stuff like that. If I did that, I'd have got fired a long time ago.
So if you see something the first game, you plan on correcting it?
Hell yes. In fact, I'm going to see something in 20 minutes, and I'm going to correct it. It's the only way you get better. But what I think what they're trying to tell you is, with that, all that, it still could take 10 games, I think is what they're alluding to.
Yeah, I guess they were alluding to the fact of just like,
yeah,
you want to,
no matter how much I
want a
correct
sample
it.
size to
Yeah,
look
I don't want a
statistically,
sample.
you don't care
I
about
want
that?
wins. But it could take 20 games. But you got, you know, to me, you got to work day by day. I live like John Rambo now, day by day.
Are you patient enough for this
No.
to take 20 games this season?
You never accept mistakes in coaching. You realize they're possible. You realize, like with freshmen, there are going to be more of them. But you can't accept it. You know, so you got to keep pounding nails. It's the only way you build a house. You got to keep pounding nails. Bob Huggins taught me that a long time ago. You got to keep pounding nails every day. It's the only way you're going to build it. So you got to get to work and pound nails. You can't just sit there and say, we'll be better. It just takes us a month or two. So what I told Adem is, you got to pound nails. You come back to school, don't make you a first-round draft pick. You got to get better. You'll be a first-round draft. So you got to get out there every day and pound nails. Teach, coach, watch on the court, film, on the court, film, as much as you can.
Mick, since there are no metrics for chemistry, and chemistry is such an esoteric concept anyway, how will we know when it looks like there's team chemistry? What does that look like to you? How does that
Well, I'm a believer at the college level, because at the pro level, coaches can be emasculated at times, right? You just coach your team, and you may have a vision for your chemistry at the pro level that the front office doesn't have, right? And here's your team, shut up, coach, right? So like at our level, I believe chemistry is on the coach. You try to recruit your chemistry because you get to do it all. Like Coach Parcells said, right? If you're going to cook, you get to pick the groceries. Well, here at this level, you do. So if you have bad chemistry because of something, you have a problem, somebody's got to go. It's not like, in the pros, Ty Lue's got to call Lawrence Frank to get somebody out. Here I got to talk to myself. So, now as far as efficiency is a different story. See, all that talk about chemistry, let me explain something to you. Everybody's happy when you win. And you guys all write, when teams lose, you write all the stories about why they lose. It's not their chemistry. They're not any good. They're inefficient. It's not their chemistry. They can't score, they can't defend, whether it's football, basketball, it's all overrated. Okay? Efficiency is what matters. If you got like a chemistry guy that's a problem, at our level, he needs a transfer.
Right.
He doesn't even have to sit out. People complain about the portal. That's what it's good for. Then, the old days, well, you're running a guy off. No, it's not a good fit here. He can go play right away somewhere else. That's the difference. I just don't believe in, I believe in efficiency. So for us, how do we become efficient with 8 new guys and, who plays where, and, that's what they pay the coaches for. That could take time. But again, you got to try to figure it out as soon as possible. How are you going to score? How are you going to defend? Those are execution and efficiency issues that you got to figure out.
Mick, have you ever experienced anything coaching-wise of teaching 7 freshmen how to play defense?
No. No. I thought back on that, because even my first year at Cincinnati, we had no team, right? I had a golfer, a football player, and a hurricane washout from Katrina, and one JUCO guy that Coach Huggins had signed. That was the 4 guys in my first team meeting in Cincinnati. But then everybody we signed was a junior college player, except one freshman, Adem Bona. So they were older. Freshmen repeat mistakes because they're just untrained. Right now, Kelvin Sampson, my buddy, said this last year. No freshman is ready early in the season. No freshman they're just not. And I don't care how good they are. Even on offense, they're really going to struggle the most defensively.
When it comes to building that chemistry and efficiency, and you have a big with as much skill and as selflessness as a die, how does that help with building those characteristics with your half-court offense?
Well, again, it has nothing to do with chemistry. Adai is a great offensive talent. It's a skill level that he can score and he can find the open man. Not only does he have passing ability, he's 7'3", so he sees right over everybody. He sees over everybody. So you got to be, getting him the ball in positions that put pressure on the defense, and not just him, other people. And it goes back to how do you become efficient as a team, right? Obviously for us, getting Jaime the ball in certain areas, getting Tiger in certain pick and roll situations. For this team, getting Adem the ball in certain places. He is a vastly improved offensive player. Adai's, obviously a skilled offensive player. Getting our guards are really good in the pick and roll. Lazar Stefanovic is great off screens, off the ball. And that's a learning process. Again, for us, what are our players good at? So we can put them in positions to play well. Like Alon Fablou can make shots and go offensive rebound. I'm not going to put him in the pick and roll. If I do, that's my fault. So I have to, you have to put your kids in a position to be successful.
with the die, do you think he has the versatility to, like, sometimes he can be that screener, sometimes low post, sometimes dribble handoff with your shooters?
He can do everything on offense. I mean, I think he can still improve as a shooter because his shot's a little flat at times, which, is understandable because he's looking at the rim. But he's still got to get he's still got to get a little more arc on his ball. I think that's the last frontier for him is his shooting. But other than that, but for him, for him in particular, the physicality of the college game. Now, obviously, in preseason practice, I let those guys beat him up because it's good for him. There's a lot of rebounds that they just, if they don't grab him and push him, he's going to get it. So, but I let it happen to get him used to it. So, but I'd say shooting is the last thing for him.
Coach, in a 40-minute game, how are you going to manage, making sure all
The same way I've
all
done
these
it.
newcomers are getting playing time?
Same
You
way
got so many people.
I'm not worried about anybody getting playing time.
Okay.
Our guys know this.
Okay.
In the off season and during practice, my job is to help them develop. Our track record speaks for that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All you have to do is go listen to what Jimmy Butler said about Jaime Hopkins. Was that last night or 2 nights?
2 nights ago.
2 nights ago.
So my job is their personal and individual development. Until game time, you can ask him this. At game time, I got one job: win. That's it. Win. That's it.
Well,
That's it.
I was going to say rotationally then.
Whatever it takes, win.
So
Got to figure it out.
8,
I got
9, 10,
one job.
whatever.
We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
I could start off with that in mind and change with something else in mind.
Okay.
Because we're not a ready-made product. Like last year, we could come in this thing and say, look, this isn't real hard. We're going to get Jaime the ball. We're going to put Tiger in pick and roll. So it's a little bit different this year. We're going to have to make adjustments. But I'm not concerned about playing time. On game night, they pay me to win games, and kids need to understand that. Like young people and people out there, they go through stuff with recruiting. It's never personal. My job is to develop our players. Except at game time, you have to realize, in reality, when you get in, you want to play pro, you want to play anywhere professionally, you want to get a job, you got to produce. Make me play you. It's your job to get playing time, not mine. They pay me to win. So if you're a winner, I'm gonna play you. I don't care if you how you get it done. There's a lot of winners out there. And I don't know how I watch, my life's back. I'm depressed when there's no basketball on, but I get home, I watch game after game now since the NBA just started. PJ Tucker's old. He's still playing. He don't dribble. I don't know if he can make that corner three anymore, and he's still playing. Because whoever's coaching him right now is trying to win. Period. So, practice is for development. Summer's for development. Go ahead, Ben.
Just one housekeeping question. Have all the international guys been cleared by the NCAA?
As you know, I'm not going to answer that, but I would tell you that there's 2 ongoing situations, and I don't comment on that stuff. I know other people lobby, on that type of stuff. We're working through it, and I anticipate everybody being ready.
Ready for the opener?
Yeah, we don't dictate timelines, unfortunately, but I would hope so. I would hope so. And Tracy knows this. We got a couple guys banged up. It's preseason practice, so I'd say we got 2 guys out and 2 more banged up. So, just part of trying to teach them how to play defense, teach them how to play hard. Everybody gets banged up this time of year. So, but we got to be careful with it over the next week or so.
Are they a little bit in? Would you say some of the newcomers are a little bit in shock, just learning how to play tough, physically, mentally, now that they've a few weeks into practice?
Probably. What happens, Trace, is everybody tells these guys how good they are, and they think they're in AAA, about to hit the big leagues. And what they realize is they came from high school ball, and now they're trying to play college ball, and where other people have told them they're a step away from the NBA. And they get here and they're like, what the hell? I thought I just got people telling me I'm a pro. I mean, it's just a different era. You know, when I used to work with Sonny Vaccaro, the great legendary basketball savant that should be in the Hall of Fame, nobody talked about like that type of stuff unless it was Kobe Bryant or Tracy McDannald. Now everybody that's ranked in the top 100 thinks they're one and done. So you know, reality comes. You know, you come in here and you think you're really good, and you're Devin Williams, who's a great prospect, and he's going to be really good in a couple of years. But the reality is, he comes in here, and his fate awaits. Look, I mean, the guy. Let me look at this guy. What is Devin Williams supposed to do? Block this guy out? Good luck. You know. Meanwhile, he's blocking some guy out from Crespi last year. You know. So yeah, it's a shock. You know, it's a shock. It's a shock, but it's not their fault. It's all of them. It's all of them. Because even you take the best ones that play, okay. You know, the best ones. Lonzo Ball. You know, that team here. You know, you get TJ, Lonzo. Those guys were unbelievable freshmen. You know, where were they at defensively? You know, it's hard, man. It's hard. It's hard for them all. And you're talking about Lonzo Ball is like a generational. He's not like a regular guy. You may not see a freshman point guard like him again here ever. You know, so it's just tough. It's way tougher than these kids think, and it's not their fault. So yeah, reality doesn't hit them in the form of me. That's reality. The guy on the wall. Okay, go try to block him out. You know, Kenny Nubas. You know, 23 years old, he's, you know, 6'10", 260. You know, you're a Mara, you're trying to block him out. That's reality. So they just haven't, they just don't understand until college basketball hits them in the face.
And
last one, we gotta get Adem in here.
Just piggybacking off of that, you know, considering you lost a guy like a David Singleton, right? A guy who could have started and but also, you know, accepted his role and embraced and relished in that role. How important is it to getting, you know, a younger team to understand that, you know, roles are going to have to, you know, be, I guess, carved out eventually?
Yeah, well, I think my job is, as a coach, you got to get guys to play to their strengths. That becomes their role, right? Do what you're really good at. Walk before you try to run. So that's my job. You know, now it's, I never want a guy to accept, like, that. You know, David, I had to explain to him last year, like, you know, he was a hustle guy that could make a shot, and last year we needed him, like, you know, Johnny was gone, Jules was gone, like, he had to change his mindset. So there's some of that goes along with it, but I think with the young guys in particular, you got to play to your strengths and keep it simple. You know, it changes. Dem's role changes vastly though. Okay, and how, you know, understanding how defenses are going to try to stop you, that he's going to be much more of an offensive threat this year, and that again, that's my job to, you know, to get him in that mindset, and then how to deal with, you know, being that type of guy. So it's a growth. It's going to be a growth process for him offensively, to be in a much more of a focal point of our offense than he was a year ago. So, and it's just with every guy, man. That's part of your job. It's what makes coaching basketball much harder. You know, Chip Kelly's got it made. You know, because your role as a left tackle is to protect the quarterback. Like, you know your role. You know, you got guys coming in that their role in high school was to shoot every ball, and now it's not. So that's what makes the big challenge about coaching basketball. You have to succeed in that area to help the player. It goes back to development. You know, so he's not turning it over a million times, and to help your team. But I'm jealous of football coaches with the whole role thing. Trust me, because when the linebacker's tying his shoes, he's not thinking about, you know, catching the ball 12 times for 180 yards and then going out with Taylor Swift after the game. So, all right, guys.
Thank you.